The subway, MRT, whatever you want to call it, in Taipei. I just got off at the wrong stop, and the guy's like, yeah, it's the next stop. And I'm like, shit, I gotta wait for the next train. And then it appears, and I'm like, how fast are the trains here? He's like, every 2 minutes. I'm like, wow. Hey guys, if you come here for my tour, on one of the days of the tour, we've planned shopping, and we're gonna hit 2 areas. This is one of them. This is the this is like the, what's that called? The New York. New York has a famous square. You know, it's where they do the ball dropping on New Year's Eve and everything. Shit, I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, this is Taiwan's equivalent. It's like the most active shopping area, downtown area in all of Taiwan. It's a young place. It's a young hip place. You get street performers, and it's mainly people in their 20s and teens that come here and hang out. And so we're gonna do this, which is kind of like a young, cool shopping, and then we're also gonna do Taipei 101, which is, it's all like expensive name brands like Gucci and Prada and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just large shopping area. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's a Thursday, so it's not too active right now. But if we were here on a weekend and it was a little bit later in the day, it'd be packed. It's kind of got a bit of a Japanese feel to it, just this area. Or it does to me anyways. I've never... Just because everyone's, you know, you got a lot more punks and just more of a cool flavor in the air. That's my wife, actually. She does the modeling on the side. I'll tell you one thing that Taiwan has over Hong Kong. This is like a shopping area. There's a bunch of streets here. There's no cars allowed on them, and you just walk around shopping. And if this being Taiwan, I can walk around here and I can walk up to a store, look at the clothes. They might ask, do you need any help? But that'd be about it. If this were Hong Kong, there'd be people coming out of each and every store, putting their hand on your arm and trying to pull you in. Oh, sir, come look at this. I was in Hong Kong, and I was wearing glasses at the time, and some guy just walked up and took my glasses off my face. And he says, oh, sir, come on in, we'll give you a free cleaning. And he just he pulled them off my face, and then walked back into the shop. So I had like no choice but to follow him in to get my glasses back. I hate that about Hong Kong. Like, they just, you know, they like, Hong Kong, China, they will do anything for $1, man. And Taiwan, half the time, you could go into a store and you're like, can you do this for me? And they're like, no. And you're like, I'll pay extra. They're like, no, we don't do that. And it's like, you know, like half the time in Taiwan, like, you go into a store and you can't get them to take your money, which is an opposite hassle. Like an example would that be if I buy like a modification for my motorcycle, and then I go to a motorcycle shop and I'm like, can you install this for me? And they're like, well, you didn't buy it here, so we can't install it. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'll pay you labor, you know, I'll pay you I'll pay you X amount of dollars to install it. And they're like, no, sorry. And okay, I'll pay you this much money to install it. And I'll name a price that's higher than the thing that I bought. Like, say I buy a aftermarket horn for $30. And then I go into the place and I'm like, okay, I'll give you $40 to install it. And they'll be like, no. And it's like, but I wouldn't actually give them $40 to install it, but I'm just testing them. I'm like, at first I'm like, I'll give you, you know, $5 or $10 to install it. And they're like, no. I'm like, 20, no. 30, no. $40, that's more than I paid for the horn. Install it. No, you didn't buy it here. We're not going to install it. So it's just funny. This is a guy who was walking along, I see a dog, start talking to the dog. He's friendly. And then there's a bunch of dogs in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's a tattoo parlor that has, but then look at some of these dogs. Like this dog, for example, is sick. It's It's got like an open wound between its eyes, and its tongue is constantly out. I'm pretty sure it's like thirsty as hell. There's no water that I can see anywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4 dogs. At least 5 dogs in here. But like, look at this one. It's like, it's in desperate need of medical attention. You know, it's true what they say about there being like no fat people in Asia. Of course you get the odd one, but still, like, you know, I come to Taipei. Taipei, there's like 1 million people. I don't know, probably a few million in Taipei. I don't know what the population is. You can look it up, tell me. Anyways, guys, I'm trying to make a video here. So I'm walking around in Taipei, and I'm just looking, tons of people. You know, good-looking women everywhere. And I was thinking to myself, like, I haven't seen one fat person. And I'm thinking about this. I'm like, not one. And then I was on a train at the time. And then a girl gets on the train, and she had to weigh like, I don't know, over 200 pounds. And she gets on the train kind of leans a bit. And then, but of course, you know, the catch is she was white. She was probably Australian. I think the biggest ones come from there. That's why everyone buys Australian beef. So they grow their cows well. Sorry, no, but yeah, no. You know, people say, oh, America fat. Have you ever been to England? Like, you know, thin women are a rarity in England just as well. Thin guys, see, that's the thing. It's women. It hits the women first. And in America, you get fat women and fat men. You go to England, fat women, the whole country. Go to Australia, even worse. And again, it's still mostly just the women. So it's weird. But then you come to Asia, and it's like neither. There's no fat people.